What's up, YouTube? Another beautiful day on the grind building. So today completes day 2 of learning how to code. Uh, it was a productive day, I would say. Ended up finishing up the basic HTML and HTML5 module of responsive web design. The first certification, the 300 hours, and ended up finished good majority of the basic CSS as well. Definitely some more interesting stuff. Having a lot of fun with it, just seeing what I'm building. The CSS part's more of the design of the HTML of what you're building, so it's definitely makes it more aesthetically pleasing. Seeing what you're building, and let me just see what I actually ended up finishing. So I ended up finishing the HTML section, and there's 8 modules to the responsive web design, and CSS is part 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep, 8 modules. I definitely don't think it's gonna take 300 hours to finish this all out, so that's a good thing. Definitely trying to crush it and move on to the next thing, but at the same time, just being consistent and letting it apply, just letting it stick, basically letting the principle stick. And with the CSS, let's see what I ended up finishing. Alright, so the introduction: change the color of text, use CSS selectors to style elements, use CSS class to style element. The selectors, well, let me just continue on. Style multiple elements with CSS class, change font size of an element, set the font family of an element, so changing style of fonts. Basically everything in CSS that I learned was about the style tag, and everything that I applied into it was basically in the style opening style tag and in the closing. Like everything that we were coding was in between the 2 tags there. And let me just continue on. Import a Google font outside of the CSS fonts that they have already. Specify how fonts should degrade. Size your images. Add borders around your elements. Add rounded corners with border radius. Make circular images with border radius. That was cool. Just seeing an image, like a square image, become a circle and then make a border around it, and yeah, that was pretty cool. Give a background color to div element, set the ID of an element, use an ID attribute to style an element, adjust the padding of an element, adjust margin of an element, add a negative margin to an element, add different padding to each side of an element, add different margins to each side of an element, use clockwise notation to specify the padding of an element, use clockwise notation to specify a margin of an element. So that's what I completed up to day 2. Again, a lot of the style, all of this was in the style elements, opening and closing tags. The main parts that I want to stick is just knowing right off the bat what the CSS selectors are, like where it is in the code. When they ask me questions like, okay, put this and this in the CS selector, or the CSS class. It's usually like dot something, and then so forth, with the rest of the code they gotta write. So yeah, and like the ID is usually, oh no, or am I getting that mixed up? Oh no, the ID is hashtag, then whatever the ID that you're making is followed by the hashtag, and then the opening brackets of the code, etc. Just knowing where to place the answers for the code, that's what I was paying attention to, and letting it stick. Like, okay, this is CSS class, or that's what I want to stick rather. So yeah, that's like the main gist of it. And also just seeing stuff just change literally as you're building it. it's also cool. Just seeing the design elements and just taking for granted like Microsoft Word and how we already see the fonts and the font sizes just all pre-made in there, and just seeing that, just being used to that basically. But instead we're seeing the back end, the coding side of it is a nice, like, okay, wow, we just take all this for granted, you know what I mean? So that's definitely cool to see, and definitely can't wait for day 3, because honestly, just this whole journey now, I'm always thinking about, like, can't wait to go code. Like, I'm trying to learn, so trying to learn more coding, and yeah, it's definitely exciting to be on this journey. And I hope to encourage all of you guys that are on a similar grind or looking to get into coding as well. Just, this is for y'all, and documentation. So yeah, this was day 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this little rant of sorts. I mean, I'm just updating you guys, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I can't wait to get into more coding later in the day. So, peace out.